Happy New Year, everyone. This is Swati, and I'm back with another book review. I know that the world is not waiting for me, but this is a task that I really enjoy doing, so I thought, why not? Well, this time I want to recommend a self help book that is Atomic Habits by James Clear. This is a book that I have already recommended to many students as well as some of my colleagues. By the way, I usually do not recommend self help books because most of the self help books are nothing but a compilation of motivational rhetoric that I find neither helpful nor motivational. But this one is different because it actually offers you practical guidance regarding how to incorporate those changes into your life in a very simplified language and in a step by step manner. Now, those who have already read this book or have heard about it, they might feel that it is a compilation of all those words of wisdom जो बड़े बुजुर्ग कह करके गए हैं. And there is nothing wrong in repeating those words of wisdom. I'll talk about my major takeaways from this book that has actually helped me to become a little better in my life. So the first one is that you have to create an identity around a habit that you want to incorporate into your life. Like if there is somebody who wants to give up a bad habit, so it's not enough for them to say that they are not smoking or indulging in any such habits. They have to say that they are a non-smoker. Similarly, if you want to incorporate reading habit, it's not enough to say that you enjoy reading, but you have to say that you are a reader. So our identity helps to perpetuate an image in the society, and we all are human beings and we want to protect a good image. So your image will help you to substantiate that habit for the like in your life as well, because validation helps some of us a lot. The second is that you have to vote to become the kind of a person that you want to turn into. You recall that famous and flop nara of BJP in 2024 election, अब की बार 400 पार. Now, why were they saying that? Because they wanted to bring some change at a constitutional level. Similarly, if you want to bring those changes at a very fundamental level in your life, you have to devote the maximum numbers of hours into doing something, whether it is learning driving or swimming or learning a new language. You cannot really compromise with the quantity or the quality. It's unrealistic to say that you will remain motivated for something every day, but just make sure that if you have missed a particular day, suppose for your fitness training, the next day somehow you try to make up for it. The third is the quote that I often repeat in my classrooms, that you are the average of five people that you spend the most amount of time with. You can make a mental track record in your mind. You can just make a track record in your mind. Just notice the changes in yourself in the last 3 to 4 years, and then list down the peoples with whom you interact most or with whom you spend the most amount of time, and then you can make up a list of the bad and the good habits that actually has flown away into the kind of ambience that is created. Because I read this line somewhere कि इंसान अपने माहौल का ही होता है, and this is what happens. The next one is embrace boredom. Now, boredom is a label that people want to get rid of. Nobody wants to become a boring person or a killjoy in any party. But if you really have to become consistent and good at something, you must learn how to embrace boredom, because boredom is very beneficial. Otherwise, you will find that people are just exchanging the quotes and the dialogues from the web series or the movies that they have seen. Most of the youngsters nowadays, they actually emulate the dialogues they might have seen in the latest movies or the scene that they are a big fan of. It takes a lot of discipline and a lot of rehearsal and repetition to show indiscipline on screen. What those children forget is that even those actors, they must have maintained a lot of discipline and a lot of consistency in their life to portray a so-called cool image on screen. So boredom is very beneficial for you if you only learn how to embrace and utilize it. The next is that don't be afraid of the word mediocrity. Society nowadays has given a bad connotation to the word mediocrity, which, if I'm right, is derived from a Greek word which means in the middle of something. See, if all of us will become extraordinary, it will nullify the very definition of extraordinary. So even if you aspire to become a writer, you must understand this fact that you may not be the next William Shakespeare or Maharishi Vedvyas or Maharishi Valmiki, but that does not mean that you cannot become better at your job. So mediocrity means in the middle of something, and middle is never right in the middle, right? So the thing is that if you are becoming better than what you were yesterday, you will still make a progress and achieve some kind of success in your life, which is better than being a very lethargic person or being a person without any sort of focus or goal in your life. The problem is that we think that if we make our life highly structured and highly disciplined, wouldn't it take away the vibrancy and spontaneity from our life? It's not like that. If you are very consistent and disciplined, like if you are eating right for 6 weeks in a days, for a day you can actually be at ease and relax yourself and have that junk food and everything. And habits are like actually compound interest. So you will not see the result in the next day or the next week, in the next month, or probably even in the next year. But over a period of a time, the good habits will compound and it will give you a lot of interest, both good and bad habits. Okay, there is a flip side to everything. At the end, I just want to wish all of you a very happy new year. And I really hope that you have such a busy new year in watering your own plants and your own grass that you don't have time to envy uh, others or notice that whether someone else's grass is greener or not. So, happy new year, everyone.